Buenos dias. Oh, RGT85 here. Hope everyone is having a great day. Hope you guys had a good April Fool's Day. I really enjoyed making that video yesterday, living out my dreams to be a white rapper and some other jobs that I think I'm highly qualified for. Shout out to Chip Minton for coming by on the channel. Make sure you guys check out that video if you haven't yet. I had a lot of fun with that. But we actually have some real video game news to talk about today. Actually, 3 stories that I want to cover. If this is your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share on the video if you really enjoyed it. But without any further ado, let's talk about what's going on in the world of video games and a quick PSA announcement. Right now, if you're in the United States, there are Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis Nintendo Switch Online controllers available through their storefront right now. You can see here, I'm filming this at 9 in the morning. We have the Super Nintendo controller in stock. Add it to the cart right now. And you know, like, I get it. People want the Super Nintendo controller, like it's a cool controller along with the Sega Genesis, even though it's a 3-button. But the real one they need to be putting back into stock is the N64 controller, because that's the one that has a lot of functionality. Like, playing these N64 games without it is kind of challenging. You know, it's not the easiest thing in the world. So that's the one that Nintendo, I feel like, needs to be sort of getting their act together on. But yes, if you did not pick up the Super Nintendo controller or the Sega Genesis controller, they are available right now in the store. Hopefully they're still available by the time you see this video. If you were subscribed with notifications turned on, we wouldn't have this problem because you would be well aware and well informed. Next up, one of the hot topics that I haven't gotten around to talking about yet is E3 2022. In case you haven't heard the news from literally every YouTube channel in the world, E3 2022 has been officially canceled. There will be no in-person event, but more importantly, there won't be any sort of digital event like we had last year. And a lot of people are talking about this. A lot of people, you know, don't understand the need for E3 anymore, and I completely get that. So I kind of want to talk about, like, the truth about this and just sort of share my opinions on E3 being canceled. Now, first and foremost, from a completely selfish standpoint, I'm sad that E3 is canceled because that is a great time for me to make money. Because everything is nice, everything is structured, you know when these events are going to take place, you watch the events, you react to the events, you talk about what you liked and what you didn't like, and taking that away from me is taking away money. So I don't like that. I don't like that. But even on a bit of a deeper level, obviously we have all these digital events that take place whenever. Sony can do a state of play presentation whenever they want. Xbox does their Xbox Insider or whatever it's called. And then of course Nintendo does their Nintendo Direct. So is there really a need for something like E3 going on in the future? They did say that E3 will be coming back in 2023 with an in-person event. That's at least the plan right now. And I think to some degree, one thing that a lot of people miss with E3 is the fact that it gives opportunities for game developers to sort of be, and, you know, even game companies to sort of be in the same room together and throw around ideas and possibly make partnerships at these events to do things like games on specific platforms or ports, or, you know, I know Limited Run Games really views E3 as a very important time because that's a time when they make a lot of deals at these, you know, parties that happen at these events, and you get to know people, you get to expand your outreach. So on an industry standpoint and on a personal standpoint, I am disappointed. I'm sure Summer Games Fest will be fine with Jeff Keighley. Jeff, if you're watching this, hit me up. I have some ideas for you. We can make this a big success, but you gotta listen to me because I speak for the people and not for the corporate stuff. So, you know, it's kind of a forgotten medium, but I feel like I miss the structure. I miss the structure of E3 because it's fun. You know when all these events are going to be, you know when you have to be up, you know when you're going to be covering something, what new games are going to be unveiled. I'm sure companies will still do stuff around that time frame in the month of June to sort of talk about, you know, their upcoming games and stuff like that, because June is just a good spot to do it at anyways, because that's sort of the middle of the year and you could talk about the second half of the year games that you have coming out. But I'm a little disappointed. I understand that maybe it's not completely needed as far as the consumer level is concerned. You don't really get any benefit from these shows like you would if, you know, these companies just did things on their own. But from the business side of things and, you know, the more corporate side of gaming, it is a bit disappointing. Do you even care about E3 anymore? Do you think that Summer Games Fest will replace E3? Because I know in my talks with Jeff, he did say he kind of wanted it to be an E3 replacement at some point in time. Could he sort of manage to do something like that? Let me know what you think about everything in the comment section down below. And finally, when it comes to the Nintendo Switch, I think we can all agree on one thing for the most part. We want better graphics out of the system. You know, it's a fine system. It's a great system with a great library of games. But when we're playing on our HD televisions, our 4K televisions, you definitely feel like you're missing out on something. You always kind of wonder, well, what would this game look like in 4K? What could Nintendo really do with their titles if they were a little bit of a beefier system with things like better frame rate, better textures, all sorts of stuff? It's an endless conquest that man has put themselves on to make better graphics. And obviously we're in the law of diminishing returns when it comes to system jumps nowadays. I mean, you could argue that a lot of PlayStation 5 games do indeed look like PlayStation 4 games, maybe with some extra bells and whistles, but I think most people understand that we're at the bells and whistles part of gaming. You know, bigger worlds, things like ray tracing and lighting effects and artificial intelligence are probably going to be the focus going forward. But bringing it back to the Nintendo Switch, if you own a 4K television, obviously you can get a signal on there, and it's a decent signal, but everyone wants 4K on the Nintendo Switch, especially because 4K televisions are so cheap. Now, we've had companies come along like the Marseille thing that was a little plug and play, or they have cables and stuff like that. And for me, it didn't do anything. I made a video on it. I was not impressed with it. I know some of my friends don't like it. Some of my friends absolutely love it. But that wasn't true 4K. It was an upscaler for your Nintendo Switch. But now there's a new company on the block, 4K Gamer Pro, and they say that they're bringing 4K to your Nintendo Switch. This will be available on Kickstarter at some point in time, but let's take a look at what they're doing and see what I think about it. Alrighty, so here is their website, 4K Gamer Pro, coming soon on Kickstarter. Instantly upgrade your Nintendo Switch to 4K, designed for Nintendo Switch. Okay, well, if it's designed for the Nintendo Switch, why does it say PhotoFast on here? Because when I see PhotoFast, I'm assuming that this is for like taking pictures and uploading pictures like via a USB dongle, but obviously that's not what it is because it's the 4K Gamer Pro. So let's take a look here. We can see we've got the PhotoFast meter on here. Press it one time, you get 20% boost. 2 times 50% boost, 3 times you get 100% boost, and 4 times it's just the standard thing. Now, looking at this, you can see that, you know, you get a bit of a sharper image. You know, the 1080p here is a bit soft compared to these other things here, but you could do things like sharpness on your television. This is something that's built into your television to allow you to do. So what is it doing here? Control the look of your game with 3 upscaling levels of 4K. It is a pity that Nintendo Switch only supports a video output of 1080p. With the 4K Gamer Pro, the 1080p output is not only automatically upscaling to 4K resolution without any lag, but can be adjusted to 3 different levels to get the most comfortable visual experience, or for gaming experience. Comfortable visual for gaming experience. Okay, that's kind of wonky here. We have a thing here with the M Classic versus a standard Switch versus the 4K Gamer Pro. Let's take a look at it. Includes paid promotion, whatever. So we can see here, let's go ahead and bump this up here. Bump it up to 4K, even though the video isn't in 4K. We can see here a sort of a side-by-side comparison of the Nintendo Switch running in standard mode versus the 4K Gamer here, or this is M Classic versus 4K. Like, it doesn't look any different. Like, it really doesn't look any different to the point of where you're gonna notice it. I don't even know what game this is. It looks kind of like a Resident Evil one. Like, yes, you're increasing the sharpness of the picture, but it's not really doing anything. Powerful performance. The 4K Gamer Pro offers a new level. A new level! A little Pantera there. A video enhancement to ensure you get the best gaming experience ever, with a 20% increase in sharpness, coloring, and depth of field. There you go, right there. So if your television has these settings, you could just mess around with it and get a different setting. Like, I don't know. Obviously, they've done a product before, the 4K Gamer Plus, you know, which I never heard of that. You can see here another side-by-side comparison. Like, really, what? You increase the saturation, you increase the sharpness. I guess some of the textures look a little bit crisper, no lag or drops in frames per second. Some more back and forth stuff here. Like, yeah, it's a softer image, but when you have this big image on your big television, like I think that one is very telling. So the colors pop a little more in intense color processing, advanced image sharpening. Look at this, it gives you a better color range. Does it really work though? Because of the fact that the games are still built the same way. You're not actually improving the game source code itself. You're just increasing, you know, the colors a little bit and the resolution. You're upscaling it. Now, do I think this product will be, you know, a failure? No, I would actually like to check out one of these, the 4K Gamer Pro. So if you're watching this, 4K Gamer Pro people, be sure to hit me up, or I might pick it up. I'm not going to pick it up on Kickstarter because that's against everything I do. I will not support you on Kickstarter, but when the product does come out, because I feel like this will be successful to some degree, I will check it out. But I'm just not sold on these things. You know, like I said, you know, it varies from television to television. It varies from what settings you have on your television. If you increase the sharpness on your television, increase the colors, you could probably get something very damn close to this. But I am curious about it. Maybe you're curious about it. Is 4K truly coming to the Nintendo Switch via this upgrade? Let me know what you think of it in the comments section down below. Alrighty, so that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to let me know what you think of everything in the comments section down below. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. Be sure to check out the April Fool's video from yesterday. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I want 425,000 subscribers. It's a nice round number. We could be there already. I don't know. I haven't checked this morning. And as always, I will catch you guys on the next video. Later.